This one looks a little bit familiar. Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. Let's get into the mod collection. With one of our more bizarre offerings this week, the Mahogany houndstooth. I do believe this is the second houndstooth design that we've seen from Gibson, but this time they decided to play on a 54 Les Paul custom reissue. That means we get the cool Alnico 5 staple pickup in the neck, P90 in the bridge, full-on mahogany construction, so this does not have a maple top, adorned with the gold ABR1 bridge, regular stop bar tailpiece, and you've got your new ambered over knobs. But the reason why this is called Mahogany houndstooth is you get to see the mahogany wood grain, and they've got the houndstooth design. You see this design a lot in fashion. From far away, it just kind of looks like a checkered pattern, but you get up close to it, you can see these kind of like Space Invaders looking things. Does it work on a Les Paul custom? I'll let you be the judge. Maybe it's like the handbags, it would look better far away. But interesting use of a plain truss rod cover, and we've now got golden grovers on this. And the whole thing was a satin refinish with moto backplates. And this is Destroyed Serial 162. But now we've got the faded Tiger Top 59 reissue. So I think Joe Perry might like this guitar because it looks very similar to one that he's very famous for using. That's called the Boneyard. It has this interesting double stain technique where the flames get dark, but yet the base color is kind of yellowish. Every example looks a little bit different, and if you swap it out to black plastics like this one, it makes it look even scarier than its stock format. But look at your knobs, and now look at these knobs. Yeah, they knew what they were doing here. So if you were never sold on the headstock of them, perhaps this plain one in the mod collection would speak to you. As far as the back, wow, gloss black. You don't see that very often. It looks like it's number 158. But this one's kind of a sleeper, cherry sparkle. From far away, it just looks black, but then you get to this photo, you can tell, oh, all right. We got some red, we've got some red sparkle, we've got some silver. I bet this thing is a total knockout in person, it just doesn't photograph well. But in case you missed it, it's an axcess custom. You've got a Floyd Rose equipped to it. Flip it over to the back, you do have a comfort carve right here, as well as the sculpted away heel. You get the apex head carve, and my goodness, the entire thing is sparkle paint glossed. That's a good one you can be proud of. But what about the headstock? They left that traditional. But now we've got faded grapeberry 345. It's kind of a muted purple. It works all right. The cool thing about 345s is their binding structure. You get 3-ply binding along the top. And this finish really helps bring that out, especially since they use the cream plastics. They just capped off your stop bar studs, threw one of your trapeze tailpieces on it, gave you gold knobs. But what's going on here? Why is that orange? Looking down here, it doesn't look like it's anything crazy. So they either painted it or it's just reflecting our orange switch tip. It's giving me robot guitar flashbacks, but our headstock appears to be a satin finish as well. And then the back, only the body received the new finish, and then you get a natural neck. But if purple wasn't your style, disco static has happened. Another one of those finishes that we've definitely seen before, but it's interesting and unique. You get the cream plastics, and hey, look at that, 2014 notched speed knobs. Apparently those are making a comeback. And as far as the back, it's a dark natural this time, with the disco static continuing, but no staticky headstock. Persimmon magic happened on the 61 standard. For 2500, it just seems the theme this week was really sparkly finishes. It's kind of a reddish orange, it works, and they deleted your pick guard at the same time. Left your headstock be, and gave it the full-on refinish gloss treatment. And looks like that was initially a late 2023 guitar. But I liked this one, Green Chill Satin. Wow, really? It's a 57 reissue? I thought 4200 seemed a little bit cheap for an R9, but okay. Apparently they were going to cover that over with a gold finish. I really like how this thing turned out. That's like a R8, R9 on a budget. It's a really nice bluish green hue, and you've got an interesting flame top. I don't think anybody would have this necessarily in their mind as their ideal top, but these are the ones you see that you just appreciate so much in person. The no pickguard works, all gold hardware, that's something new. Inlays look oddly hypnotic and mirror-like. But that's about what I was expecting them to do to the headstock. And we're going for that whole poison ivy vibe with the natural back, being labeled as number 178. But now another fashionista model, Black Blush Metallic. 3800 gets you this on a 335. Blush and black, as they're saying. However, uncovered neck pickup, covered bridge. Very unusual combination. What did they put in there? Custom Bucker Alnico 2? Burst Bucker 2. But okay, nice. The whole back is just pink. I kind of like that. Many times these semi-hollows don't receive the full refinish. They leave the neck alone, as we've been seeing. But the black tuner tips are a really nice touch to continue on their theme, because the front has all the whole black and pink stuff going on pretty well. The headstock, you could argue it goes a little bit too far, but Oh wow, they did a sparkle refinish to the headstock too. Glad I checked that out, because what I was trying to say is the black tuner tips work from the back. And then a standard 50s in midnight blue cherry. Are you kidding me? Is that actually blue? I can't tell from this photo. I just thought that was one of those weird black bordered ones. But if it's a dark navy blue, I suppose that is unique. You don't see that every day. Looking through the rest of the photos, I mean, that must be a very, very dark blue if it is. But the real fun actually comes onto the back. You got some really tight wood grain on the neck, and then, whoa, a bursted stinger. I like that mod shop, guys. They've been toying around with like different kinds of stingers, but to have a color and then burst around it, I've never seen them attempt that. And I love the fact that you can still see the natural mahogany on the edge. It reminds me a lot of really fancy archtop guitars that have the big fancy headstock looking good. So good, in fact, that they have to also do all that onto the back. But next up, a Smoked Ruby Custom Shop 64 reissue SG. In Smoked Ruby, so super ultra dark, upgraded to gold, gave you your bedazzled knurled knobs. You got all your good reissue stuff on your fretboard as far as inlay material. But then the back is just the same hue, but the headstock. They decided to go for the super fancy boy. Grover Imperial tuners. But that wraps things up for the USA shop. How about the European side of things? They had one sell really quick. It was a pot of gold. It's just all this teal color, but you get the matching pick guard and they upgrade you to the gold hardware. And hey, they threw on the custom shop knobs just for fun, and your toned ones are extra ambered over and aged. But the headstock was left alone outside of our new tuners, and it was a full refinish, including your backplate. They just shot that whole thing. And it went for €1,900. Let's just appreciate some of these more candid shots. These modern day SG standards really are nice guitars. You just gotta give them a try. They've got a nice rounded neck profile to them. But if green wasn't your thing, they also had ruby slipper red. Nothing that special up here. Clear knobs, you get white moto pick guards, and it's red. Woohoo. Holy cow, I did not look at the back of that one. They went a bit crazy here. You've got super ultra reverse red stinger with a white neck. So you're gonna see the red on the top while you're playing it, but when you look down to the neck, do you see what I see? You've got the white outline. So it kind of looks like the headstock is bound, but that's just the paint peeking over a little bit on the side. You can kind of get a small taste of what I'm talking about right here. Let's see if our candid shots show us anything like that. Well, you get a little bit closer here, but unfortunately not the shot I'm looking for. But then we had Metallic Iguana on a Flying V. It's your typical 67 reissue style with your Vibrola, ABR1 bridge. Looks like they left it with the custom Bucker 3s. And you got that super long headstock. I mean, is it just me or does that look longer than usual? Probably just because we came off that 1980 Flying V. I'm so used to those nice rounded over ones. I prefer them. But no stinger business back here, just straight up green. Then they really tamed things down with a standard 60s and satin iced tea for $27. To me, this just looks like a particularly nicely flame top Les Paul tribute that somebody did the faux binding treatment to. But no, it's a full-on standard. There's uncovered your pickups, gave you some really decrepitly old-looking hardware, and fresh brand new speed knobs. And okay, the back is also satin. And they also soaked your tuners in some stuff, but that's an old guitar, 2021, early in the year. And in these realistic lighting photos, honestly, that top doesn't look too bad. And then good old boring red flake metallic 335. Let's see, is it redeeming? Okay, this is another one you can't judge initially too badly. Because look at this. It's still transparent. You get to see all the good wood grain stuff, but you get the sparkles, the best of both worlds. Headstock was left alone. So I suppose the way they got around this is they just put red flake metallic in the clear coat and just left it be the regular red color. Okay, I guess that's one way to go about it. But now our demo shops, the overseas ones, still taking a break. Here's the USA. They got a really cool 59 355 reissue here. Good old 70s boring brown finish. I call it boring brown because I love it. But you got your nice wavy maple top. You've got your extremely long pick guard. But with your Gibson Maestro Vibrola all done up in gold. This really just reminds me of the Chuck Berry signature that we had reviewed, except for in a walnut finish rather than cherry. Wow, $7,600. How much are those things? Huh. They're charging a premium for it? I mean, they did add the Vibrola, but it doesn't have stop bar studs. That had to have been like a custom order. Here's a good trick for you. If you like a guitar in the demo shop, but you're like, I'm not gonna pay that much. If you watch it, I'm not saying it's all the time, but occasionally they'll send you like 5 to 10% off, especially if you're shopping on a guitar that's way back in their area that hasn't been sold in a long time, like a Doveless Dove. I'll put that in my watch list and see if we get something by the time this episode's over. But next, a modern SG Supreme 3 pickup. That is just a great deal. They're $3,500 brand new, so that's nearly $1,000 off. I still have my review piece if you hate the demo stamp and you want a first quality one and you're willing to pay just a little bit more, feel free to reach out. I can come close to that price, but not all the way. Looks like this one might have had some nut issues. But then I was quite impressed by this, the SJ200 Standard Select Maple Cherry. Sounds fancy, has a price tag to prove it. Let's take a look at this. Abalone purfling all along the edges of your binding. You got your super fancy pick guard. You got your abalone dots within it that aren't always that way. You got your abalone rosette. Abalone pieces in your bridge, and you're seeing that right, your abalone inlays. Maybe a bit too abalone crazy, but that Gibson logo does look pretty cool. But now it looks like I saved this as my special one. $1,900, sparkling burgundy. It is one of my favorite of the custom color series. Yeah, that's why I saved it. The back, extraordinary. It's got the nice kind of sapele wood grain going on. Then the lefty's got to have a little bit of fun. Vintage Burst 345. Looks a little bit unhinged and crazy with the zebra bobbin pickups, but I think somebody would appreciate that, including the junior style tuners. And lastly, a weird studio. Once again, uncovered neck, covered bridge. It just looks so wrong. How did they spec it? It's just the regular pickups. All right, Troglodytes, I hope you enjoyed the recap this week. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.